The morning sunlight filtered softly through the trees, painting the monastery grounds with hues of gold and green. I approached the Buddha, my heart heavy with thoughts of inadequacy and doubt. "Blessed One," I began, my voice trembling slightly, "I feel lost as I watch others progress along the path." The Buddha turned to me, his gaze steady and filled with profound compassion. "Tell me, young one," he said gently, "why do you compare your steps to the steps of others?" I hesitated, searching for the words to express the turmoil within me. "It seems, Blessed One, that everyone around me moves forward, while I remain rooted in uncertainty and fear." The Buddha gestured for me to sit beside him beneath the great bodhi tree. "Do you see the stream flowing nearby?" he asked, pointing toward the glimmering water. I nodded, observing the gentle ripples that danced across its surface. Notice how the stream does not rush or compete, yet it reaches its destination in time. His words carried a truth that resonated deeply, but my heart still clung to its doubts. "But Blessed One," I said earnestly, "what if the stream dries before it reaches the ocean?" The Buddha smiled, his expression serene and reassuring. "Even if a stream dries, the rain will fill it again. Nature always finds its course." I pondered his words, my thoughts a whirlwind of questions and fears. How can I find my own course, Blessed One, when I am overwhelmed by the success of others? The Buddha picked up a small seed from the ground and held it before me. "Observe this seed," he said. "Does it bloom at the same time as the trees around it?" "Number, Blessed One," I replied, following the line of his reasoning. "It grows when its conditions are right." The Buddha nodded, his voice a harmonious blend of wisdom and kindness. "Indeed, young one, each seed has its own time, just as each being has its own journey." As I listened, I felt a quiet stillness begin to settle within me. "So, you are saying, Blessed One, that I should not measure my path against the paths of others?" The Buddha placed the seed back upon the earth with deliberate care. "Exactly, my disciple. Your journey is uniquely yours, unfolding as it must." The man understood that his fate was uncertain, yet he chose to focus on what he could grasp, the Buddha explained. "Though the vine frayed, he found liberation in letting go of what he could not control and accepting impermanence." The Buddha pointed to a nearby lotus, its petals gently unfurling in the sunlight. "The lotus blooms not through haste, but through patience and natural rhythm." Anand reflected on the Buddha's words, recognizing the futility of his preoccupation with what had yet to transpire. The forest, once filled with Anand's racing heartbeats and troubled sighs, now felt tranquil as the teachings sank deep within him. His words carried a sense of timeless wisdom that both comforted and challenged me. "So, you are saying, Blessed One, that I must cultivate patience as a farmer tends his crops?" The Buddha inclined his head, affirming the truth in my understanding. "Precisely, young one. Patience is the soil in which inner peace takes root." I sat in silence, the weight of my doubts slowly giving way to a fragile hope. "What if I falter, Blessed One, and lose my way again?" I asked, my vulnerability laid bare. The Buddha reached out to gently touch my shoulder, his presence a steady anchor. "Even if you falter, young one, the path will always be there, waiting for your return." Tears welled in my eyes as I absorbed the profound simplicity of his teachings. How can I remember these truths when the weight of comparison feels unbearable? The Buddha gestured toward the horizon, where the sun began its ascent into the sky. "Look to the sun," he said, "which rises anew each day." Unburdened by the shadows of the past, his words painted a vivid picture of renewal and possibility, filling my heart with newfound determination. The Buddha, ever patient and compassionate, watched Anand's progress with gentle pride and continued guiding his disciples with unwavering wisdom. In the silence of the forest, Anand's spirit began to bloom like a lotus, unfurling toward the light of inner peace. Each moment holds the potential for a new beginning. I closed my eyes, letting the depth of his teachings wash over me like the stream's gentle waters. Thank you, Blessed One, I said, my voice filled with gratitude and reverence. The Buddha inclined his head, his gaze steady and filled with quiet joy. May your heart find peace on its journey. Young one, he said, I left the shade of the bodhi tree with a lighter heart. The Buddha's words a beacon to guide my steps. Though the doubts would return, I carried with me the seed of his wisdom, planted deeply within my soul. And like the lotus, I knew that in time, I too would bloom. Another day, another set of worries weighed heavily on my heart as I approached the Buddha under the bodhi tree. I sat before him, my thoughts swirling with fears of falling behind those who seemed far ahead in their journeys. Blessed One, I began, my voice trembling slightly. I cannot escape the fear of being left behind by others. The Buddha looked at me with calm eyes that seemed to pierce through my doubts and fears. Tell me, young one, he said gently, what is it you believe you are losing as others move forward? I hesitated, unsure how to put my turmoil into words that could do justice to its weight. I fear, Blessed One, I said quietly, that I am losing my chance to find true enlightenment and peace. The Buddha nodded, his expression one of understanding and infinite patience, as if he had heard these words before. Let me tell you a story, he said, his voice carrying the cadence of a river's steady flow. Once there was a man walking through a dense forest, surrounded by the calls of unseen creatures. I listened intently, my heart drawn to the mystery of the story the Buddha was about to unfold. This man, the Buddha continued, feared he would never find his way out while others had already reached the open plains. He paused, allowing the weight of his words to sink into the silence that stretched between us like the forest itself. Lost in despair, the Buddha said, the man stumbled upon a traveler resting by a fire, his face calm and untroubled. I leaned closer, my mind painting the scene of the two figures meeting under the canopy of trees. The man asked the traveler, how can you sit so peacefully when others have already reached their destinations? The Buddha's tone shifted slightly, carrying the wisdom of the traveler in his story. The traveler smiled and replied, the forest is vast and filled with many paths. I have chosen to rest a while. The Buddha's words hung in the air like leaves drifting slowly to the ground, each one carrying its own weight. Do you see, young one? The Buddha asked, his eyes meeting mine, how the traveler found peace without rushing to the plains. I nodded slowly, the story resonating with my own fears and questions about the pace of my journey. But Blessed One, I ventured, what if the forest consumes us before we reach the open plains? The Buddha's gaze softened further, his voice as gentle as the wind rustling through the trees. Even if the forest consumes us, young one, what matters is the peace we cultivate within it. His words were like a balm to my restless heart, though the shadows of doubt still lingered at its edges. Blessed One, I asked hesitantly, how do we rest when the fear of being left behind gnaws at our minds? The Buddha gestured toward the horizon, where the sun began its slow descent, casting golden hues over the monastery. The sun does not hurry to set, nor does it linger beyond its time. It simply follows its nature. I watched the sun, its glow reflecting in the quiet waters of a nearby pond, as the Buddha's words sank in. So, you are saying, Blessed One, I said softly, that I should embrace my journey without urgency or fear? The Buddha nodded, his expression serene and unwavering, as if he carried the weight of countless truths. The path before you, young one, he said, is as unique as the sunlight that touches each leaf in its own way. His words painted a vivid image in my mind, each leaf a testament to the individuality of every journey. But blessed one, I asked, how do I quell the fear that I am falling behind? The Buddha's eyes twinkled with a quiet wisdom that seemed to hold the answer to every question ever asked. Fear is a shadow, he said, cast by the mind's attachment to what it cannot control. His voice carried the certainty of someone who had faced and overcome the very fears I grappled with. But how do we move past the shadow? Blessed one, I asked, when it feels as though it surrounds us entirely. The Buddha picked up a stick and drew a small circle in the dirt at our feet. Its shape precise and deliberate. Step outside the circle, he said, and you will see that the shadow is not the entirety of the path. I stared at the circle, its simplicity a profound reflection of the boundaries we create within our own minds. Step by step, the Buddha continued, you can expand your vision and recognize that the shadow is only a part of the whole. His words were both a challenge and an invitation, calling me to explore beyond the limits of my own fears. But blessed one, I said, my voice trembling slightly, what if the shadow grows larger as I try to move beyond it? The Buddha placed the stick gently upon the ground, his gesture one of peace and surrender to the moment. Shadows grow only when we turn our backs to the light. Young one, turn toward the light, and they diminish. His words carried the weight of truth, yet they also filled me with a sense of empowerment and possibility. So, you are saying, blessed one, I said, that I must face the light within me to overcome my fears? The Buddha nodded, his expression one of quiet encouragement and profound understanding. Yes, young one, he said, the light within you is stronger than any shadow cast by the mind's fears. His words lingered in the air, a beacon guiding me toward a deeper understanding of my own journey. But blessed one, I asked, how do I find the light when I feel consumed by darkness? The Buddha gestured toward the flames of a small fire burning nearby, its warmth reaching us even from a distance. The light is like this fire, he said, born from the spark of mindfulness and the fuel of compassion. His analogy resonated deeply, the fire a living symbol of the potential within each of us to create light. Blessed one, I said, my voice filled with both wonder and determination. How do I tend this fire within me? The Buddha smiled, his gaze steady and filled with quiet joy, as if he saw the spark already igniting within me. Tend it with patience, young one, he said, and it will grow to illuminate even the darkest forest. His words planted a seed of hope in my heart, a tiny ember that promised to grow with care and intention. Thank you, blessed one, I said, bowing deeply, my fears still present but no longer overwhelming. The Buddha inclined his head, his expression serene and filled with the compassion of one who understands. As I left the shade of the bodhi tree, I carried with me the lessons of the fire and the shadows. Though the fears of being left behind would return, I knew they no longer had the power to consume me. With each step I took, I felt the light within me grow stronger, guiding me forward on my own path. Another day, another moment of unease found its way into my thoughts as I sat before the Buddha once more. His serene presence offered a momentary solace, yet my anxiety about the path ahead still loomed large. Blessed one, I began, my voice heavy with doubt. How can I face the constant wave of anxiety within me? The Buddha turned to me with eyes full of compassion and understanding, his voice steady and reassuring. Young one, he said softly, anxiety is like the wind. You cannot stop it, but you can choose how you stand. I listened intently, his words drawing my attention away from the storm in my mind toward the stillness of the moment. But blessed one, I asked, what if the wind becomes so strong that it carries me away from my path? The Buddha gestured toward a tree nearby, its branches swaying but its roots firmly planted in the earth. Be like this tree, he said, which bends with the wind but remains rooted in the soil of mindfulness. His metaphor painted a vivid image in my mind. Yet the weight of my anxiety persisted like a shadow. How can I strengthen my roots? Blessed One, when the ground beneath me feels unstable, the Buddha picked up a small handful of soil, letting it fall gently between his fingers. Begin by tending to the soil within, he said. Through practices of mindfulness and compassion, I sat silently, the sound of the breeze through the trees filling the space between us, carrying his words deeper into my heart. But blessed One, I ventured, sometimes the noise in my mind is so loud that I cannot find the soil within. The Buddha's gaze was steady, his presence an anchor against the turbulence of my thoughts. Young one, he said, sit quietly and observe the noise without judgment. In time, it will fade like ripples on water. He led me to a quiet pond, its surface still except for the occasional ripple caused by a falling leaf. Look closely at the water, he instructed, and tell me what you see. I peered into the pond, noticing the moon's reflection amidst the faint ripples. I see the moon, I said, but it is distorted by the movement of the water. The Buddha nodded, his expression serene yet deeply thoughtful, as though the pond itself held the key to my question. The water is your mind, he said, and the ripples are your anxiety. They distort the reflection, but not the moon. His words struck a chord within me, their simplicity profound and disarming. But blessed one, I asked hesitantly, how can I calm the ripples when they seem to appear without warning? The Buddha took a single pebble and dropped it into the water, watching the ripples spread outward until they disappeared. Do not fight the ripples, he said. Instead, observe them without fear, knowing they will pass in time. I watched the ripples dissolve, the moon's reflection returning to its undisturbed clarity, and felt a glimmer of understanding. So, you are saying, blessed one, I said, that my anxiety is temporary and does not define the essence of who I am. The Buddha smiled gently, his expression radiating both wisdom and encouragement. Yes, young one, he said, the true nature of your mind is like the still water, unshaken by passing ripples. Though his words brought comfort, the practical challenge of facing anxiety in the moment still lingered in my heart. Blessed one, I asked, what can I do when anxiety grips me so tightly that I cannot think clearly? The Buddha held out his hand, motioning for me to give him my attention entirely. Breathe, he said simply, his voice as steady as the rhythm of the earth itself. He inhaled deeply, demonstrating the slow, deliberate movement of his chest as the breath filled and left his body. Breath is the anchor, he said, that ties you to the present moment, where anxiety has no power. I followed his example, each inhalation and exhalation grounding me more firmly in the here and now. But blessed one, I asked, what if the present moment itself is overwhelming, filled with challenges I cannot face? The Buddha tilted his head slightly, as though weighing the depth of my question with the fullness of his understanding. The present moment, he said, is a doorway, not a prison. Enter it with courage, and you will find freedom. His words, though simple, carried a weight that resonated deeply within me, as though they unlocked a door I had long avoided. So, you are saying, blessed one, I said slowly, that facing the present moment can transform my fear into strength? The Buddha nodded, his expression unwavering and full of quiet conviction. Yes, young one, he said, fear arises from resistance, but strength comes from acceptance. The sun began to set, its golden light casting long shadows across the monastery grounds as we continued our conversation. Blessed one, I said, my voice tinged with both gratitude and lingering doubt. How can I remind myself of these truths when anxiety clouds my mind? The Buddha stood and gestured toward the horizon, where the first stars began to appear in the twilight sky. Look to the stars, he said, which shine without concern for the darkness that surrounds them. They are constant, just as your truths are. I gazed at the stars, their light both distant and comforting, and felt a quiet determination begin to take root in my heart. Thank you, Blessed One, I said, bowing deeply, my anxiety still present but no longer overwhelming. The Buddha inclined his head, his gaze filled with a quiet joy that seemed to echo the boundless expanse of the night sky. May you find peace within the ripples, young one, he said, his voice carrying the promise of his unwavering faith in my journey. As I walked away from the pond, I carried with me not only his words but the deep stillness they had awakened within me. Though the challenges of anxiety would return, I knew they no longer held the power to define me. Each breath, each moment, became an opportunity to step beyond the shadow of fear and into the light of understanding. With the Buddha's teachings as my guide, I began to walk my path with a newfound sense of courage and clarity. One step at a time. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.